Hello there guys, welcome back to another preview. Thanks as always for passing by the channel, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the videos. Thank you to everyone who's been getting involved so far. Alright, well, another big fight coming up this weekend, and this time it's the big dog, the apex predator, the pound for pound king of boxing himself, Canelo Alvarez. He takes on Avni Yildirim in the early hours of Sunday morning for us in the UK. For all the marbles, it seems. Canelo's putting his belt on the line again. I know a lot of people complained when this fight was announced. Former fighters, current fighters, fans, haters, everyone had a problem with this fight, and many were criticising Canelo for taking it. I'm cool with Canelo facing Yildirim personally, and I think it's reasonable for a couple of reasons. One, like, Canelo fought 3 months ago, okay, in December, where he went a full 12 rounds with Callum Smith, who was, the unbeaten, ring-recognised #1 at super middleweight at the time. And, 3 months is quite a short amount of time off for a professional boxer. So he did need a bit of rest period. Two is, if there's any boxer who has earned a gimme fight in the world of boxing today, for me, is Canelo. I mean, you just have to look at the guy's resume to understand that. I mean, his last 6 fights have been Callum Smith, Sergey Kovalev, Danny Jacobs, Rocky Fielding, and then he's had 2 fights with Golovkin, 24 rounds with Golovkin. So that's probably the best resume in boxing right now. So I know the Fielding fight, a lot of people, that's a gimme fight. But after that, he went straight into a unification with Danny Jacobs. So when an easy fight is used correctly, people aren't too bothered about it. And I think people need to understand it. Fielding was certainly an easy fight, but he was sandwiched between, a Golovkin and a Danny Jacobs, 2 easy fights. So I don't have a problem with that, and I think it's the same here. I'm fine if a boxer has a gimme fight. Like, if a boxer fights 3 times a year, tough fight, gimme fight, tough fight. 4 times a year, tough fight, gimme, tough fight, gimme. So I'm not complaining at all. Let's not forget that Canelo has said that after this fight, he's going to try and get the Billy Joe Saunders fight organised, and then another one later in the year. So he could be fighting, I don't know, like 3 or 4 times in the space of a year. Who else is doing that? What other boxers in the world are fighting 3 or 4 times a year? None of them. Canelo has set the standard so high and has been so active that he makes all others look poor, effectively. Not just the other world champions who aren't defending the belts as much, but other professional boxers in general. He's just been so active, and he's just going from fight to fight to fight, strength to strength to strength. So credit's due. Canelo is doing some big business, people, big business. And to be honest, Canelo has got enough credit in the bank after who he's fought recently to do whatever he wants and fight whoever he wants, as far as I'm concerned, given the run he's been on recently. So, I love Canelo, I actually have to say this, he is one of my favourite boxers today, really is. Certainly he's one of my favourites in the past 5 years. And there was a period where I was really not keen on him, which was, the clenbuterol issue with the Mexican meat. And in all honesty, I think, even though I like him, I think he did lose both fights against Golovkin, certainly the first one. But at the end of the day, he's gone from big fight to big event, and he's definitely the most active boxer in the world today, the most active world champion in the world today, and he's the pound for pound #1 for sure, but easy by miles. I mean, we also like to talk about Terence Crawford and Inoue and probably maybe Errol or Lopez in that conversation. But for me, Canelo set the standard so high that he's just running away from everybody else. So I think people need to be more like Canelo. Canelo is really a kind of model boxer, a model fighter, not just because of how active he's been, but he is also definitely the most complete fighter on the planet, because he's got everything in his arsenal. Head movement, foot movement, power, a good jab, a good chin. He could go to the body, go to the head. He's literally got everything. He's almost like a tank, really. That's got different guns that it can bring out every time it's in a different situation. So certainly one of my favorite fighters, and I'm always excited when Canelo fights because he always puts on a show. I did notice though, I looked at the face-off that they had recently. Canelo looks so much smaller than Yildirim. You know, he has given away a lot of size in this fight and probably reach as well. But as we all know, what Canelo lacks in height, he more than makes up for in power because, let's face it, Canelo hits like a mule. And, you know, so there is definitely a size and reach advantage for Yildirim. Will that make it much of a difference? Doubt it, like. I mean, Yildirim has a record, I've just got it here, of 21-2. His 2 defeats coming in from Anthony Dirrell and Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. actually managed to knock him out inside 3 rounds. We'll have to see if he's improved since then, but his last fight was a defeat to Anthony Yildirim, so... Anthony Dirrell, sorry, not Yildirim. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how long he lasts, really. I do think Yildirim is a better fighter than Rocky Fielding. I think he will definitely go out on his shield and bring his A game to this fight. So it might be down to a referee stopping it because, you know, because I don't think he will cause Canelo any problems at all, though, because Canelo is just far too many levels above him, you know. And let's be honest, this version of Canelo right moment looks near enough indestructible, you know. He's just so good, he's so prepared. You've seen the videos of him online where he's been working on his head movement. You know, you hear him hitting the bag, it sounds like a gunshot. So, you know, despite some complaints, I haven't got a problem with it. And I'm so really hope get this fight done with Billy Joe Saunders in May, Cinco de Mayo. Really do want to see that fight. I will definitely be doing a preview. Definitely preview and watching that fight as well. But overall, I think this one's going to be an exciting fight. It's always a big event when Canelo fights these days because he is pretty captivating. I feel like the fight will go maybe 5-6 rounds. If it goes longer than that, I'll be pretty impressed and shocked, to be honest, because I think Canelo is going to do exactly what Canelo does best, and that is bring pain. I think he'll keep that pressure on him. You know, he's moving forward, run him down, and then just get rid of him. You know, which is what Canelo does best. I think he'll do. I think he'll perform similarly to what he did against Smith, which I think because of the size advantage, I think he'll target the body, which he'll use to break him down, and then land a big one in the 6th round to get rid of him. So, yeah, 6th round stoppage, I'm going for Canelo. If I take a quick look at the undercard, there's quite a few prospects on here. Julio Cesar Martinez, we all remember him as the guy who came over here and smashed up Charlie Edwards for the WBC flyweight title. I remember that fight, certainly, because I remember watching Martinez on the pads in the public workout, and he looked electric, absolutely electric. And it's funny, even though I think Martinez got disqualified from that fight, Martinez was going to win it anyway. And funny enough, as soon as that rematch was announced, Charlie Edwards vacates the title. Didn't want any of that smoke. Who else is on here? We've got that Chinese heavyweight, Zhang Zhili. He's a Chinese heavyweight who's proven very popular at the moment. Interesting little scrap, that one. I always like to see new heavyweights coming through. It's always interesting because, you know, the heavyweight division's just, you know, it's easily the best division, isn't it? And also we've got some prospects on here. Diego Pacheco, Mark Castro, Aaron Aponte, and Alexis Espino. You know, we've got so there is certainly a good roster there. So I think it will be, again, I think there's, you know, any time that Canelo fights, it's captivating, and Canelo's one of the best guys to be on an undercard for, because if you perform well, you know, a lot of people are going to be tuning in to watch Canelo. This is how you get your exposure. So some of these prospects underneath, and certainly like Martinez, I think will do well. They'll be wanting to bring their best, their very, very best, in order to look good underneath the Canelo undercard. But let's see how it goes. I'm going a Canelo 6th round knockout against Yildirim, and then hopefully it'll be Billy Joe Saunders after that. And it'll be early hours of Saturday morning, so I'll probably watch it on Sunday morning, then maybe give my kind of thoughts and review later on Sunday. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Peace and love.